Here's why you self-sabotage in dating. We hear this word all the time, and I'm not a big fan of the word sabotage because that would imply that you are doing.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking. Kindly subscribe to this beautiful channel. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about self sabotage, whether it's due to fear, insecurity, or past experience. Self sabotage can quickly clip in and weaken your relationship, okay, in connection. So, I'll put the videos together so that you watch and learn. I'll be back to share my true sense.
Here's why you self-sabotage in dating. We hear this word all the time, and I'm not a big fan of the word sabotage because that would imply that you are doing this on purpose to hurt yourself, when it's actually that you're doing this to protect yourself. So think about it. You're somebody who's super anxious and you always go after the emotionally unavailable person, and then you finally meet somebody that's super healthy and really amazing. And at first you might be thinking, oh my God, finally, this is what I've been asking for. And then all of a sudden the voice starts to creep in, and then you start finding all these things about them that you don't like, even though you know consciously there's no reason for this. This person's great, but all of a sudden there comes the ick. And similar to the avoidant might think everything is really great, and then all of a sudden they start to realize that their personal life and their independence is starting to be sacrificed because this person wants more from them. Naturally, what happens in a relationship. And typically speaking, one or both parties will end it in this situation, an anxious with somebody healthy or an avoidant with somebody healthy, because of this exact reason. If you haven't addressed your core wounds and the insecurities that you have about yourself, you are always going to find issues with other people because, one, you probably don't think that you're actually worthy or deserving of this. Receiving love when you don't genuinely believe it in your heart and soul, genuinely, don't give me this bullshit that you do your affirmations in the mirror, girl, I know, I've done it. Then what happens is you start to go, wait a minute, if you're not making me work for this, then this just seems too easy. Nah, I don't want this, because your nervous system is like, I don't know how to keep you safe here. And your old attachment styles come out. So for the anxious person, it's no, I need to fight for my love. I need somebody that's a little bit more of a challenge. Now, this is too easy. And the avoidant person is no, I'm losing my independence. I need to remove myself. Neither of this comes from malice, but this comes from true protecting. Because what happens is also your brain is saying, well, if I end it first, well, then great. I'm not going to get hurt. I can handle this. And the best thing to do about this? Start asking yourself, what am I trying to protect myself from? And then start really looking into, do I have validity to this? When I started dating tech guy, I found all these little icks. Like I hated his car. I didn't like the way he dressed. And every time he would come closer to me, I would always find a reason to push him away. And that wasn't because there was something wrong with him. That was because in my body, I kept thinking, no, this is too easy. It can't be this too easy. What's the catch? And I wanted to sabotage or protect myself. And I had to challenge those thoughts and say, wait a minute, this is what I've said I wanted, right? This is what I've said I've deserved. Then it's time for me to start to receive it. If it works, great. Yay, here we go. And if it doesn't, that's okay, because I trust myself no matter what.
If you keep self-sabotaging and you know you do it, but you keep doing it anyways, then this is the video for you. This is a part 2 where I talk about how you have a protector part within you that drives you to do certain behaviors that consciously your ego knows is not healthy for you. So step 1 is this. You need to acknowledge that you have a protector part within you. And furthermore, not hate on it anymore. When we do a self-sabotaging behavior, we instantly feel so much self-hate, so much shame, madness at ourselves for doing that thing. You have to understand that this part of you is just trying to protect you. It has picked up certain behaviors thinking that these behaviors will help you feel better about yourself. Some of these behaviors suppress emotions because you don't know how to handle them. So acknowledging that you have a protector part of you, not a self-sabotaging part of you, is so key. Number 2 is witnessing and observing this part of you. What are you feeling before you go and indulge in food? Are you feeling sadness or loneliness right before you go and text the guy you know you shouldn't text? Making the correlation between what you feel right before you do that behavior is so key. Because again, your protector part is stuck in an age, usually very young, and does not understand that its current behaviors are actually making your life worse. After you start to observe yourself, you need to hold space for this part of you and acknowledge and love it. So when you witness your protector part indulge in some food because you're feeling really overwhelmed about life and you don't know how to handle it, you sit back and you say, oh, okay, I'm observing my protector part right now. My part of me right now thinks that I need to have some type of quick fix, some sugar, something. It's just trying to protect me from emotions that I've never even learned how to deal with. And even though I consciously know that I could deal with this emotion, my protective part still doesn't know that yet. And the last thing that is so important, you need to have a conversation with this part of you. It's not enough just to observe the part of you and be like, oh, okay, I see that you're doing this behavior. It's okay. Doing parts work is the most healing thing that you can do. Parts work is essentially taking on the consciousness of the part of you that is doing a certain behavior and having a conversation with it, asking it what age it's stuck in. What does it feel about you, Alicia, as an actual conscious being? What it really just wants to feel, what it's trying to do, and why it's trying to protect you. And after you do parts work and have conversations with this part of you, you'll be able to reestablish a new relationship with this part of you. You will start to understand what this part of you needs to feel safe, so that it doesn't go and indulge in unhealthy behaviors. But if you just try to override this part of you, get rid of all the candy, all the bad behaviors, you'll go right back to it because this part of you is trying to protect you. I have a parts work playlist if you want to see an example, but like for part 3 if you want to see me actually give you an example of parts.
Y'all, we've got to stop lying to ourselves. Let's get into it. This is why the dating game is so convoluted. Stop saying you okay with situations you really not okay with. Stop saying you down for things you really not down for. If you ultimately know in your heart that you are or are not interested in someone and you want more or less from them, stop saying what you know they want to hear to keep them in your lives. That is selfish. Just keep it real. For example, we out here breaking our own heart, being in these situationships when you know daggone well you know you want a relationship, but you know they don't want more. And so what do? You lie to yourself and them to stay in it, just to be connected. There's a quote that says that if someone really likes you, you ain't gotta lie to them. They'll lie to themselves to stay connected to you. Yo, that is the freaking problem. We gotta stop lying to ourselves. Men and women are missing out on good people because they have distracted themselves with a person and invested continuously in a situation that they know deep down will never be what they want it to be.
So that's a video, guys. So I'm just here to share my true sense, like what I think about it. So what is self sabotage in relationship? Self sabotage is when your own thoughts, fear, or actions create problems in your relationship. It's like planting seeds of doubt or negativity and then watching them grow into obstacles that harm your connection. This could look like how pushing your partner away, doubting their intentions, or constantly testing their loyalty. Often it's not intentional, but the effects can be devastating. Why do people self sabotage? One common reason is fear. If someone has been hurt in the past, they might unconsciously sabotage a relationship to protect themselves from getting hurt again. It's like saying, I'll end this before you have the chance to. Insecurity is another major factor. When people don't feel worthy of love, they might act out in ways that confirm their fears, like picking fights or assuming the worst about their partner. And let's not forget about partners from childhood or past relationship. If you grew up or seeing unhealthy dynamics or experience toxic relationship, self-sabotage might feel like a defense mechanism. Self or signs of self-sabotage. Let's talk about some common signs of self-sabotage in relationship. Overthinking and overanalyzing, constantly questioning your partner's actions or words, looking for hidden meanings or assuming the worst. Avoidance. Avoid deep conversation, commitment, or vulnerability because it feels safer to keep guard up. Pushing your partner away. This can be subtitle like being distant over like picking fights or creating drama. Jealous and control. Okay, acting out of fear that your partner will leave, often leading to controlling behavior or unworthy accusation. Sabotaging happy moments, struggling to enjoy good times because you're waiting for something bad to happen or believe it. Too good to be true. If any of these resonate with you, it's a sign to reflect and take the action. The impact on relationship sabotage can erode trust, intimacy, and connection. Over time, it pushes your partner away, even if that's not intention. Your partner may feel like they're walking on eggshells, unsure of how to navigate the relationship. This behavior can also create cycle. Your self sabotage because you're afraid of being hurt, but the sabotage itself causes the hurt you were trying to avoid. It's painful, raw, but it can be broken. How to stop self sabotage? The first step is awareness. Recognize the patterns in your behavior and how they might be affecting your relationship. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What triggers these actions? Next is communication. Talk to your partner about what you're feeling and experiencing. Be honest about your fears or insecurities. Vulnerability is scary but necessary for growth. Work on building your self esteem and self worth. Remind yourself that you deserve love and happiness. Practice affirmation, seek therapy, or engage in activities that make you feel confident. Learn to change negative thoughts when you catch yourself assuming the worst. Pause and ask, is there any evidence to support this? Or it's my fear talking? Focus on the present. Self sabotage often stems from fear of the past or worries about the future. Practice being present in your relationship. Enjoy the moment of connection without letting your mind spill into what if. Know when you seek help, sometimes self sabotage is deeply rooted in unresolved trauma or anxiety. Seeking professional help like therapy or counseling can be incredibly beneficial. A therapy can help you uncover the root cause and teach you healthier ways to cope. Support your partner through self sabotage if you are on the receiving end of self sabotage. Patience and empathy go a long way. Understand that your partner behavior like is not about you, it's about their own fears or insecurities. Encourage open communication and reassure them of your love and commitment. But also know your boundaries. You can't fix someone, they need to take responsibility for their actions. Self sabotage doesn't have to destroy your relationship. With awareness, effort, and support, it's possible to break free from the cycle and build a healthy connection. If you struggled with self sabotage or experience it in a relationship, share your thoughts in the comment sections and let open up this conversation and let's support each other in this. I know a lot of us were going through this. Like people have fear like their partners are going to leave them, but it's not like every person has bad intentions. There are people who like me who just get into a relationship with just good intentions. Okay, they don't think about bad intentions. They just there to give love, receive love, and be there in the relationship. There for their partners, love their partners, correct their mistakes. Like what if you make a mistake, talk, communicate, and all that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Bye bye for now.